Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to be here today to discuss how we can sustain excellence in Microsoft Fabric Governance. Today's presentation is titled Sustaining Excellence in Microsoft Fabric Governance, with the subtitle Embedding Reflection, Action, and Legacy for Lasting Organizational Impact. We'll explore key strategies to embed reflection, take meaningful action, and create a legacy that ensures long-term success. So, let's dive in and see how we can make a lasting impact together. Welcome to this slide, where we delve into the core ideas behind governance in Microsoft Fabric. Here, we see that sustaining excellence is not just about setting rules, but about embedding practices that create a strong foundation for ongoing success and adaptability. The key message is that this foundation is crucial for future readiness, ensuring that our governance strategies remain effective as we evolve. We also highlight the importance of intentional reflection. When teams take the time to reflect on their experiences, they turn those experiences into wisdom. This wisdom then guides us to build lasting excellence that goes beyond just immediate results. At the heart of Microsoft Fabric governance are three interconnected elements: reflection, action, and legacy. These aren't isolated steps, but a continuous cycle that helps us improve, implement, and leave a meaningful impact over time. Overall, this slide emphasizes that a thoughtful, reflective approach is essential for creating resilient governance practices that support sustained success. Let's talk about the power of pausing. In the context of sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance, it's important to understand that habits, frameworks, and relationships are more than just outcomes. They are the lasting impact of our major initiatives. These elements help us create a foundation that endures beyond the immediate results we see. Now, focusing on the role of relationships and frameworks, reflection plays a crucial part here. When we take the time to reflect, we turn our effort into genuine excellence. It's through reflection that experience transforms into wisdom that guides what we do next and helps us improve continuously. Transforming effort into excellence is all about those moments at the end of a big initiative when teams pause to look back on their journey. It's in this pause that we realize true legacy isn't just about dashboards or infrastructure. Instead, it's about the habits we build, the frameworks we adopt, and the relationships we nurture along the way. Finally, reflection as a legacy reminds us that these elements, habits, frameworks, and relationships, are what truly carry forward the impact of our work. They shape future success and ensure that the value we create is sustainable over time. Beyond just the infrastructure itself, it's crucial to focus on sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. What does that really mean? Well, it's about documenting lessons learned along the way and turning those into best practices that we institutionalize. When we do this consistently, those lessons and practices create compound returns, meaning the benefits grow exponentially over time as everyone gets better and more efficient. This all ties into what we call organizational wisdom. That's the skills, habits, and collaborative frameworks that we develop and pass down, ensuring that knowledge and good governance are enduring and not just dependent on individuals. On the human capital side, we're talking about the dashboards, pipelines, and data platforms that power our decision-making. These tools are the engines that turn data into insights, enabling us to act confidently and swiftly. And finally, technical assets. These are the tangible resources like the data platforms and infrastructure components that support all of the above. When these elements work together seamlessly, they form a resilient foundation that sustains excellence in governance well into the future. Let's take a closer look at the three pillars of excellence in sustaining Microsoft Fabric governance. The first pillar is legacy focus. This is all about converting the insights we gather into concrete initiatives that really drive change. It's about making sure that the knowledge we generate doesn't just stay on paper, but actually translates into tangible actions that improve our practices and prepare us for the future. Next, we have actionable planning. This involves deliberate, intentional reflection. It's essential that we regularly review what we've learned, identify patterns, and use those insights to inform our planning. This ongoing reflection helps us stay agile and ensures our strategies are grounded in real-world experience. And finally, the third pillar is about reinforcing these efforts through regular practices. These practices help us capture learning continuously, making sure that knowledge endures and multiplies across the organization. By doing so, we strengthen our current practices and build readiness for whatever challenges the future may hold. Together, these pillars form a robust framework that keeps our governance practices effective, adaptable, and forward-looking within the Microsoft Fabric ecosystem. Let's talk about embedding regular reflection into our practices to sustain excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. On this slide, we see how different routines help us multiply learning across the organization. First, sprint retrospectives and monthly learning shares are powerful tools. They allow us to reflect on what's working, what's not, and share those insights broadly. This way, knowledge isn't isolated. It benefits everyone and accelerates improvement. Next, our team rituals are about connecting learning directly to career growth. When team members reflect on their experiences, they see clear links between their development and the organization's goals. Quarterly retrospectives help us identify recurring themes and transferable lessons. By stepping back every few months, we gain a broader perspective and can implement changes that have a lasting impact. Monthly deep dives are shorter but highly focused sessions where individuals capture personal insights in just 15 minutes. These quick reflections help keep learning fresh and immediate. Finally, weekly learning journals are a simple yet effective habit. Writing down reflections every week encourages ongoing, consistent learning and personal growth. Altogether, these routines create a culture of continuous reflection, ensuring that learning becomes part of our everyday work, driving sustained excellence in governance. Creating psychological safety for reflection is essential as we aim to sustain excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. When people feel safe to share honestly, it unlocks deeper insights and helps us grow collectively. The key here is to focus discussions on systems and processes rather than blaming individuals. This shift encourages open dialogue and continuous improvement. Leaders play a crucial role by modeling vulnerability. Sharing their own challenges first sets a powerful example and fosters trust within the team. Reflection really flourishes in environments where everyone feels comfortable speaking up without fear of judgment. It's also important to normalize learning from failure, framing mistakes as valuable lessons, like tuition for wisdom. When we do this, we create a culture where experimentation and growth are embraced. All of these elements together help us build a psychologically safe space that drives ongoing reflection, learning, and ultimately, excellence. Now, let's talk about how we turn reflection into action to sustain excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. The first step is to evaluate the outcomes using SMART criteria. That means making sure our goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, so we can truly gauge effectiveness. Next, it's crucial to monitor how our actions are being implemented and how they develop over time. This helps us stay on track and make adjustments as needed. To keep everything organized, we need to designate clear responsibilities, assigning specific tasks to individuals or teams. This accountability ensures that everyone knows their role in driving improvement. We also want to outline specific and achievable areas for enhancement. By focusing on targeted improvements, we make our efforts more effective and manageable. Finally, it's important to recognize recurring themes and insights that come from our reflections. Identifying these patterns helps us understand what's working well and where we can focus our energy for continuous improvement. All of these steps are interconnected. They help us turn thoughtful reflection into concrete, impactful actions that sustain our governance excellence. Now, let's talk about how we sustain excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance through prioritization and accountability. First, we focus on quick wins. These are small, manageable actions that we prioritize to create early successes. They help us build confidence and momentum early on. At the same time, we plan for strategic investments that have a long-term impact, ensuring our efforts are sustainable and aligned with our broader goals. We also look for efficiency improvements, which can lead to operational gains and more streamlined processes. Building momentum is key. We use Kanban boards to visually track progress, so everyone can see where we stand at a glance. Dashboards provide real-time updates, making sure transparency is maintained through visible tools that keep everyone informed and engaged. When it comes to progress tracking, clearly defining ownership for each action is crucial. Regular check-ins help us stay accountable, and making public commitments reinforces our responsibility to follow through. Now, let's discuss the impact and effort framework. Quick wins are high impact with low effort. They're perfect for building momentum early. Strategic investments, although they may require more effort, are high impact and should be carefully planned. For smaller, less critical tasks, low impact and low effort items are nice to haves, nice but not essential. And finally, high effort for low impact should generally be avoided unless absolutely necessary, as it can consume resources without much benefit. Overall, this approach helps us stay focused, accountable, and aligned as we work towards sustaining excellence in our governance efforts. Let's talk about sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. The key here is creating processes and frameworks that are designed to outlast any individual. This intentional approach to legacy building helps prevent knowledge loss and actually multiplies our organizational capability over time. When we strengthen our systems, we're not just maintaining current standards, we're building a foundation that can support continuous growth. Mentoring team members ensures that wisdom and best practices are carried forward, making sure that valuable insights aren't lost when people move on. Developing people is just as important. Documenting insights and making them accessible to everyone creates a shared knowledge base that benefits the entire organization. All of these efforts contribute to what I like to call the legacy in Fabric governance. It's about what endures beyond individual roles, creating a sustainable, resilient governance structure that keeps delivering value long after a person's gone. This is how we ensure our governance practices remain robust and adaptable over time. Let's talk about how stories play a crucial role in sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. As I mentioned earlier, tacit wisdom, that deep, experience-based knowledge, is often hard to capture in traditional documentation. Stories help bridge that gap by transferring this kind of wisdom, showing not just what to do but how to think in complex situations. Incorporating storytelling allows us to convey important context, the challenges faced, and the human dynamics at play. This makes the knowledge more relatable and easier to understand for others. When we share stories, we're providing a richer, more nuanced picture that helps teams grasp the underlying principles and mindset needed for effective governance. Now, to make this knowledge truly discoverable, we need to leverage rich metadata and a logical structure. This way, information isn't just stored away. It's easy to search, navigate, and find exactly what you need when you need it. So, combining storytelling with smart knowledge management creates a powerful approach, one that ensures valuable insights are passed down, understood deeply, and readily accessible. This is how we keep excellence alive in our governance practices over the long term. Let's talk about embedding insights into our decision frameworks and governance policies. By doing so, we ensure that the lessons we learn today guide our future choices, helping us continuously improve and stay aligned with our goals. Institutionalizing wisdom is about creating a culture where this knowledge isn't just stored but actively used. Providing specific feedback and encouraging autonomy are essential here. When team members receive clear, actionable feedback and are trusted to make decisions on their own, they become more confident and capable. Creating safe practice spaces is another critical piece. We need environments where individuals can experiment and practice without the fear of judgment. This safety encourages learning and innovation, which are vital for effective mentorship. Making thinking visible is a proven best practice. When we share our thought processes openly, it enhances understanding and facilitates learning, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. Finally, transferring tacit knowledge is a key part of mentorship. This happens through various methods like one-on-one coaching, facilitating workshops, job shadowing, and working on paired projects. These approaches help pass on the nuanced, often unspoken insights that are so valuable for growth and excellence. Let's talk about the legacy mindset and how we measure impact. When we focus on sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance, one of the most powerful ideas is the multiplication effect. This is where individual expertise doesn't just stay with one person. It multiplies across the organization, leading to lasting organizational excellence. The key is understanding that the true impact of our knowledge and skills can be measured through specific metrics. For example, we look at how much we reduce the time it takes for someone to become competent, how often questions are repeated, indicating gaps in knowledge transfer, and how mentees eventually become mentors themselves. These metrics help us see the real, tangible impact of our efforts. But building this kind of legacy requires a shift in our mindset. Instead of focusing solely on personal productivity, we need to think about how our knowledge can build organizational capability. It's about asking ourselves, how can this knowledge serve people I might never meet directly? This shift ensures that our efforts contribute to a sustainable, scalable culture of learning and growth, one that extends far beyond individual contributions. That's how we truly create a lasting legacy in governance and organizational excellence. As we come to the conclusion, I want to emphasize the importance of sustaining excellence in Microsoft Fabric governance. It's about maintaining the momentum we've built, being adaptable to new challenges, and continuously strengthening our governance practices to ensure they stay vibrant and future-ready. We've discussed practical tools and prompts that help multiply your contribution, whether through capturing knowledge or mentoring others. These are key to building a resilient and engaged community around Fabric governance. Remember the idea of legacy. It's about turning insights into measurable impact. The work we do now shapes long-term success and sets a foundation for others to follow. Action is crucial too. Transforming our experiences into wisdom allows us to make smarter decisions and improve processes over time. Finally, reflection ties everything together. It's about regularly pausing to assess what's working, what can be improved, and how we can continue to grow. Together, these concepts form a comprehensive approach to not just managing Fabric effectively today, but ensuring we're prepared for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.